Hi there, it's Time-Lord here. Thank you very much for watching this channel. If you're a first-time subscriber, thank you very much for joining in the fun. It features some of my own music theory, tips and tricks of music, bits and pieces about music history from all genres. Nothing is barred. Compositions, music news, chat, and much more. In this video, we are exploring the composer Debussy and a piece of music called Clair de Lune. You may know it. Claude Debussy was born in August 1862. He was the oldest of 5 children. His family was lower to middle class. They weren't really cultural at all. His dad ran a china shop. His mum was a seamstress. The shop was very unsuccessful. It closed. The family moved to Debussy's grandmother. He started piano aged 7, lessons paid for by his aunt. His dad joined a rebel force who lost to the French in a small revolution. He was sentenced to 4 years. He served just 1. A fellow prisoner's mom started giving piano lessons as well to Debussy, and at age 10 he was admitted to France's leading music college, the Conservatoire de Paris. He studied piano but preferred composition. Despite this, Debussy won a piano competition performing the first movement of Chopin's second piano concerto, but he then failed to win subsequent competitions. He had to stop piano studies and he carried on with composition studies. He became a resident pianist at a posh house. He relished the rich lifestyle. He loved that for the rest of his life. But like many groups of today, Debussy traveled around Europe to make a name for himself. He carried on composing, playing the piano, and then he was back at college. As with many uni students, he became infatuated with an older woman, and he wrote 27 songs for her. He became her lover. Despite this, the lady's husband remained on good terms with Debussy for the rest of his life. Debussy had rows with his tutors as he broke the musical rules when composing. His music was described as being bizarre, incomprehensible, and unperformable. His lover ended their affair, but Debussy composed one final song for her, perhaps as a parting farewell. He then had another affair, announced an engagement. His friends disowned him because he was in debt. The engagement was broken off. He was soon in another relationship. He got married. His friends liked her. Debussy soon felt, however, that his wife was intellectually inferior, and he became bored. Around 1900, others sat up and took notice of his musical style. It took years to develop. He was around age 40 when he finally became famous. Debussy had yet another affair, and 5 years after his marriage, he wrote to his wife saying it was all over. He'd found a sophisticated lover. 5 days before their 5th wedding anniversary, Debussy's wife attempted to shoot herself. She survived with a bullet lodged in her spine for the rest of her life. Debussy and his pregnant lover went to England briefly. He celebrated his divorce in lavish style. They returned to Paris, buying a small swish pad to live in. Debussy grew bored of his wife, but doted on his daughter. He was married for the rest of his life, unhappily it seems. In 1915, Debussy underwent early colostomy surgery. He became ill and he died at his home in 1918. Many pieces he wrote were based around poetry, and he regarded the traditional orchestral symphony as totally obsolete. He was influenced by Russian composers and Far Eastern music, but he developed his own style of harmony and rich color in music. One of his most famous compositions was Clair de Lune. You might know part of the piece from your kids learning the recorder. It's a piece used to teach this sometimes squeaky instrument. However, the piano piece is a lot more beautiful. The entire piece, Suite Bergamasque, is in 4 movements. Clair de Lune, meaning moonlight, is the 3rd movement, and it contrasts the 2nd and 4th movements being a lot quicker. This piece is based around a folk song that traditionally accompanies the scene of a lovesick perrault, you know, the mime actors in French pantomime. In conclusion, as with many performers, musicians, composers, Debussy was not a good person in his relationships. It's hard to discern whether he ever loved anyone but himself, and certainly any of his lovers or his wives. But he doted on his daughter, and he certainly loved music. Please be kind to everyone, but use emotion to gain inspiration. What are you going to compose or play today? And seek out a version of a Clair de Lune on the piano, turn the lights low, just sit there and close your eyes and listen to that piece of music. It's probably one of the most, well, I think it's probably the most beautiful piece of piano music ever composed. Keep composing, keep playing, keep watching. Thank you very much. Cheers, bye.